an inherent fucking thing. And when you have Deloitte backing that all up, these people are led to believe that, hey, we're going to swipe the credit card over your cell phone, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to feel, touch, smell, taste, or hear the real transaction, because in 3 days it'll come through with somebody who gets to press buttons and ones and zeros. And that valuation comes from fucking this eternal place called the idea that you own something and it says it's art, it just increases in value without any fucking reference to any valuation having to do with cost or the actual price that was paid to get it. And so anyways, back to what you said about art, about art. The galleries that are successful today, your Mangelsons, what Alex is doing,
Alex
Salazar, or Thomas Kincaid particularly, they sold art based on the idea that the valuation would increase. And the more people they led to believe this, the more higher the cost of the art became. And everybody, it's just like a Ponzi scheme. It's the very definition. And this is how our world works today, and I'm totally accepting of it. But the difference between that work and my work, when I sell my artwork is collateralized by people buying it who tell me stories about their grandmother learning to drive at a certain spot, or people telling me about their first kiss.
Your local work.
That's all I sell. And to be honest with you, people tell me to sell to tourists all day. Dude, my money doesn't come from tourists. It comes from people that have the connection to these landmarks. They don't care who I am. I take pretty pictures of pretty things.
But isn't what White Box or other galleries do, isn't that the business of art? Isn't that what the art business is about?
And it's,
buying to invest?
Very premise.
Buying to invest.
This is why real artists like Norman Rockwell were considered illustrators. Their art affected people and told stories in seconds, yet we have to relegate him to fucking illustrator. Ansel Adams created the zone system, brought photography to a whole new level. He had begged, who was the woman who did the Flowers' husband in the Stieglitz? He begged Stieglitz in his notes to show his artwork, and Stieglitz wouldn't do anything like that. He showed Man-Ray's bastardized versions of solarized prints because he was doing crazy stuff, smoking and drinking things, versus, representing what, in my world, when you can touch millions of people through a visual image and they all get the same story from it, is that not art? Why has art got to be something people are questioning, like you're freaking,
So how did Alex Salazar get your client? How did that happen?
Oh, it was my own fault. It was my own fault. It wasn't it was an email exchange, me requesting help. I just opened a gallery. I've never run a gallery. 6 months ago when I first opened the gallery, it was 4 months ago now, or 3 months ago now, that I was going to have this show with the Mapplethorpe and the Collector. And I was looking to Alex because we have a LinkedIn professional network connection. I met him through the internet. I was looking to him just like, for advice, because he's done gallery shows for so long.
So you made the mistake of wanting him to mentor you a little.
Yeah, I guess you could say I made that mistake, yes, definitely.
And the client, whose name is?
Alfred Santiago.
He's your neighbor.
The agency. Alfred Santiago founded the agency back in 1983.
When Robert Mapplethorpe wanted to get into fashion.
When Mapplethorpe wanted to get into fashion.
He was trying to get into fashion,
yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
So he had all those Polaroid prints.
And he was going to do the originals
and
the catalog, the whole body of work. Hand-signed originals.
By the artist
by Mapplethorpe, which is like famous super
dude.
rare.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But you were not too comfortable because it was a different crowd. You're not really into that whole...
Well, from my perspective, we have sexual functionality, and when you find gratification out of dysfunction and then you glorify it through the media, I'm glad it didn't show here.
So you basically didn't want to have the show.
I wanted to have the show here because of the fact that I know publicity and I know having the attention it would have brought would have been magnificent. Plus, it's a body of work that works in kind. I was a graphic designer and a photographer, always working from concept through to completion, understanding offset printing, understanding stochastic and rosette, all the things that go along with printing, let alone how a photograph composition, inverse square root of light fall off, so, the whole work process.
So your heart was not into it.
Not into what he was as an
artist. Do you think? Okay, I know this requires a little bit of projection here. This requires a little bit of supposition. But if it would have been Edward Weston, a bunch of originals,
Alex and I would have had words. I wouldn't have been as stupid. I don't think I would have been as stupid because at Mapplethorpe, Weston doesn't carry.
If it was Ansel Adams,
I wouldn't have told a soul.
Anybody?
I wouldn't have told a soul. I would have kept that. I know it. Because I have such respect for him. The Mapplethorpe thing was the whole gay community. What better person to ask about something like that?
All right.
So and I wasn't afraid of it because I knew Alex would never show photography. He's made that clear.
But you were wrong.
I was wrong. That's why I felt safe.
Hindsight.
Yeah.
Looking out your back door.
It's all fine.
Looking out your back door.
And in all honesty, Alex got Santiago more prestige, and I got him in Deborah Klitschko. I've got a good relationship with Alfred, rather. Got into, Alfred's getting his work out there probably more than I could have. So, that's a good thing.
All right.
Yeah. This is
Thanks,
fun
Michael.
stuff, man. I really appreciate this.